Coming up on Look Today, well, school districts in the area will be getting a boost in state financial aid. I've got details. And Saratoga and Albany counties are taking a collaborative approach on how to deal with solid waste. More on that coming up. And the Saratoga City Council provides some updates on the Spa City Solar Park. More on that coming up. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. On tonight's program I sit down with Jillian Fecteau. She's a founder of Earth's Last Straw and she's here to talk about this initiative to stop the use of plastic straws in the city. Plus I also sit down with Teddy Foster. Now she's campaign director for the Universal Preservation Hall in Saratoga and she's here to talk about New York State grant that the Hall recently received, plus other updates on that project. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, school districts in the area will be getting a boost in state financial aid, and the newly adopted state budget increases total education aid by about $1 billion. Now, by the way, the total amount of state aid is around $26 billion. We spoke to James Dexter. He's the district superintendent of schools, BOCES.
There were a few things in the budget that were really important to our schools. The first is the legislature and the governor increased operating aid for the districts, sometimes called foundation aid, and that was really critical. Our districts are mostly average need districts, so it means that they get about half of their money from the state and half of their money from their taxpayers. It's a little oversimplification, but they really rely on the state funds, and the additional operating aid will go a long way for the districts in helping meet their goals.
In other news, well, Saratoga and Albany counties are taking a collaborative approach on how they are going to deal with solid waste. Well, the two counties will be developing a state-of-the-art facility that will also be advancing green initiatives. Now, overall, the facility will help foster a healthier environment by managing waste differently. Now, we spoke to Daniel Rourke. He's executive director of the Saratoga County Sewer District.
What we used to do with our biosolids, we used to incinerate it, so it wasn't the greenest or most sustainable way to get rid of what is a residual of wastewater treatment. This new facility looks to take advantage of the carbon that's within the biosolids to possibly generate electricity. It creates a biogas with the process that we're looking at, so we're definitely looking to take advantage of that and also cut costs.
Switching from news to weather, well, after a couple of gloomy days, the skies look like they're clearing. So we're going to get a combination of sunshine and maybe a couple of rain showers tonight. But let's see how that's shaping up and the rest of the week. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser with your first look weather update here on Look TV. We currently have an overnight low about 24 degrees at Clifton Park, lower to mid-20s across Fort Edward, Greenwich, and Whitehall. Towards Glens Falls will be down to 22 degrees, so overall a winter time-like night temperature-wise and an early spring evening across much of the Capital District. And we're going to experience a few rain to snow showers, isolated nature, might even see some breaks in the cloud cover with a breezy west wind at 20 or so miles per hour. Thursday, mainly sunny, back in the lower 40s for most spots, west wind at 15 miles per hour. It will be a cold start, but with plenty of sunshine with air temps in the lower to mid-20s, maybe upper 20s in a few spots. And wind chills, most importantly, in the lower teens. So still bundle up, Capital District, and look at our afternoon highs each day into the 40s for the next 5 days, lower 40s at best. We could see plenty of sunshine on Saturday, especially on Sunday, with next chances of rain, maybe some snow if we could get that precipitation to kick in during the overnight hours, because temps are going to be about 22 to 32 as we wake up Monday and Tuesday mornings. So be prepared for some chilly weather across the Capital District and be prepared for more wet weather chances early next week. That was your weather update here on First Look Weather. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. Now send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. Back to the news. Well, last year, in the summer, Saratoga City Solar Park was built out on Weibel Avenue. Now, since then, it's saved the city a lot of energy and money, and it's been an overall success. Well, we were at Saratoga City Council meeting last night, where Finance Commissioner Michelle Madigan gave us an update.
So the city's 2.5 megawatt solar array, the Spa Solar Park, was energized and fully operational on August 22nd of last year. I'm happy to report that since that time, the facility has generated roughly 1.4 million kilowatt hours of electricity. This has resulted in the city realizing over $20,000 of utility savings to date. I would note that the rate of electricity generation and related savings is expected to increase in the coming months, as spring is traditionally a peak season for solar performance.
Congratulations. Great project. Now, as you know, you can watch Saratoga City Council meeting in its entirety, unedited, uninterrupted, right here on Look TV tonight, and of course on demand on looktvonline.com. Up next, I sit down with Jillian Fecteau. Now, she's a founder of an organization called Earth's Last Straw, and she's here to talk about the initiative to stop the use of plastic straws. I also sit down with Teddy Foster, campaign director for Universal Preservation Hall, and she's here to talk about a New York State grant that the Hall recently received and updates on that amazing project. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've really only got one look out tonight. We're covering the Martin Luther King Jr. Vigil, that march in Saratoga tonight. We'll have a full story on that tomorrow. But last night, I caught some amazing programs about the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he was an amazing individual, of course, but what he represented during this time period when a lot of social and racial change was going on was really phenomenal to understand some of the backstory. I think it's a shame we're back in an era of divisiveness. I'm sure we'll get through it if we all remember to vote. In honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., tonight we're going to take the program out with one of the more memorable clips in history. Good night, everyone.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.